Set it up right there. Get the pens behind. Hold it. See if there's any face in the frame. Gosh, now we pull out. Bye, anybody. This alley is the Wild West. People be driving way too fast down here. And I think a week after I got this car from my folks, it was my mom's before, and it had the right amount of seats, so I kind of asked if I could have it. Asked, kind of that insinuated that my mom needed a new car. Anyways, I was going down the opposite direction, pulling to a stop sign. That's really tight when you're hanging right, and I rolled up to stop, and the guy at the other stop sign, I think, didn't see me. I think he rolled it a little bit, just let the car lurch forward, probably like he's done 100 times before, and just rammed right the fuck into my door right here. And yeah, I think I said, "Oh no, 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 no," and then it was over. As quick as it happened, it was over. But yeah, that alley is treacherous. Gosh, and right around where that accident happened, somebody got murdered there like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Ironically, just kind of around that same spot. It was a lover's quarrel, I believe. Like a 20-something-year-old ended up stabbing like a 40-something-year-old that was like having an affair. Someone was having an affair with someone's girlfriend or wife. And all kinds of sheriffs and police were hanging out there a good portion of the day, and they came and asked us if our video camera stuff worked because they wanted to check footage, and it didn't. But yeah, that's what we came to find out was that alley claimed someone's soul, and my dad's dog actually got kind of ran over in that alley too. It's so short. I don't think the person driving, the woman was only going 5 or 10 miles an hour, but kind of rolled over his shoulder. He's a little corgi, and yeah, he got like worked there. He was in bad shape for a week or two, but he's fine now. Yeah, it all is dangerous, so I've really learned to be a lot more patient there, and I'll make sure I take a look when I'm getting in my car, or sometimes I'll get out and physically walk and look, try to get back in slowly and then creep out. But yeah, backing up into it way more safe just to see it coming and whatnot. But anyways, I don't think we've recorded an episode in quite a while, maybe a few weeks ago, but I got a little drive to an away match today, so thought this might be a little break from the Top Chef that I've been running back today, and I kind of felt a little sickly over the weekend. If I do sound a little nasal, I did have a little runny nose yesterday and part of today. I think yesterday was probably the day where I was blowing my nose the worst. The day that my nose broke and it was like leaking. Luckily, it was a day off. It was Labor Day, and so I was at home and we were getting paid anyways. But I do notice, and I've noticed this with my kids also. Once we started monitoring the water intake, and once I started monitoring my own water intake, I've gotten like colds, and a lot less colds and fevers and flus over the years than I ever did. And definitely my kids, just monitoring about, I don't know, 10 or 12 ounces we have them drink in the morning with breakfast or just before they go to school, and at night with their meals. It's been way better on that front. I think in the last year and a half where they've had a couple less colds. That's not even anything I ever really thought about until it got so hot in the summers a few times. And my oldest one really never drank a ton of water because she would go to these sports day camps and be outside like all day. She would wear sunscreen, but her body just wasn't accustomed to that type of movement all the time and sun exposure. And I think the first time she only lasted until about Thursday, and then she was like throwing up. And I think one time she couldn't keep anything down, and we ended up taking her to the emergency room, and she was just super dehydrated, and she just doesn't really gulp or like pound like liquids. She still uses like a straw with this cup of water, so it's a long process. But yeah, I digress. They've been much healthier as far as not getting sick as many times with, monitoring their water intake and trying to get ahead of that, and noticing also that their mood's just a little more snippy, and when it's been hot and it's been a long day, and maybe we check their water bottle and it feels like hardly any's been touched, and I just don't really think they're drinking an entire thing of 20 ounces of water during the day and then filling it up, and then that much is left. So because you know your kids and you know whether they drink that much or not. So I don't even know how I got there, but maybe. And I also know the times that I've kind of gotten sick over the years is when I've kind of let my sleep and my water intake kind of lapse, and I'm not on top of it. And sometimes I get a little bit over just the fact that I'm pounding water all the time, but I'm going to the bathroom all the time. But also I work in an office with 3 other people on a full day, and we have 2 bathrooms at our disposal anytime we want. So it's not that big of a deal staying hydrated. It's just work. But I also think once the volleyball season started, it's been a little more difficult to add practice to the getting exercise, sleeping 8 hours, and working 8 hours. And I've kind of had to. I've still kept with the running in the morning, but I've not been able to do the brunt of my work at the office like I was getting good at during the summer when there was no volleyball. So just means I've been coming back and staying up later and sleeping a little bit less, and then that equates to if I'm working at home and I'm staying up later, I just kind of succumb to the pressure of just getting myself something to eat, which is staring me right in the face as I work at the kitchen at the table that we eat at, and right next to the kitchen, so I can see all the snacks. I know what's there, and before I know it, I've popped up and I am munching on something that's not good for you, I'm sure, and just it's food late at night. And I think I was doing pretty well there in the summer, but gosh, it's just such an everyday battle with yourself to convince yourself that eating clean and staying to your fasting window and not drinking alcohol and soda is all something you can do. proved you could do it a day here or there, or maybe a couple of weeks, but to really break those habits, it's difficult. To do all of it is difficult. And yeah, once you quit drinking and back your drinking all the way up, then you're just craving sugar constantly to replace the sugar that you're getting from all the alcohol or the beer. But yeah, it's been geared way back, that's for sure. And it's just interesting how some days you feel so certain that you don't want to partake in anything that's not going to be good for your body, and you could see the benefits of the water fast, and you're all in, and then the following day it's a situation where you're eating everything that has sugar attached to it. And I think that's the most frustrating part for me is I think I can do it, but I haven't proven to myself I can do it for more than, I'd say, 3 weeks or a month or so. So yeah, it all seems like it makes sense on paper and financially. If I'm not trying to spend more money on the good quality ingredients that are organic and all that, I don't know if I have to go to those lengths, but just to stay in the window, I think I had a good 2 or 3 weeks there. But once I had to start working late at night, I could do it one night, another I couldn't, and a lot of those weeks, my motivation was just so I could get off and get off from my jog in the morning and not have to worry about taking like a wicked dump. And actually, I think one time last week or 2 weeks ago, I had to cut my run short and come back because I was touching cloth, dude. I was literally going to poop in my pants, and I think I even had to stop and walk a little bit too, which wasn't really an issue in the first week of the summer when I went only meat for I think 6 days or a week. I think I only pooped like one every other day, or I just wasn't getting those full logs that that you get when you eat vegetables and carbs and whatnot. That was pretty short-lived, and I was just getting fatigued. It smells like poo in here. Did I step on something? I don't know. It might just be my air conditioning. I can't even. It's funny that I'm smelling something because I can't. I've been blowing my nose for a few days, and I can't even smell that well, anyways. Let me just take one of my shoes off. Nothing on that one. Alright. Well, anyways, I have my left shoe off now, and my right shoe's still on. So that's different. But see, last night I made it through dinner. Then I started working and I started snacking again, and then I think I was eating up until about 30 minutes before I went to bed. Excuse me. And I got a baby shit out this morning before the run, and one after, and then I just hit a huge one, volume wise, like 30 minutes ago in the office. And gosh, now that I think about it, I've taken too many dumps is an issue. Like, that's why you should go carnivore diet, because apparently your body just absorbed and just utilized all of it. It was just too hard though to like, I just like eating too much. I think maybe I've done it for so long, making it just sport, that I'm not satisfied with just using it as fuel, and then you're done, and then you have to find something to do again. Or it makes it seem like work and important stuff are back on the table once you stop eating and you're not doing that. And also once the season started, I think this is like I think this is our fourth away match, like out of town, and then I ate all 3 times before that. The first 2, I had my oldest daughter with me, and that was really fun. Just having our time to go out and eat and just talk, and that's always been fun. I always enjoyed eating with my folks when we were out, like at a tournament or something. But yeah, even last Thursday or Thursday, I think. Yeah, I went and I had a big meal like at 4:00-ish as I got down there. And I ate too much, too fast, and I drank too much soda, and then just felt so lethargic. And yeah, this whole balance between wanting to feel healthy and look good and also eat what you like it's a tough one to balance and understand and go with day to day. Gosh, I don't know. I know I've talked about this over and over again ad nauseum, but I mean, I could eat all day. Like I just feel like I never get full, and I just like food so much. And I think I went a little overboard with it this month, as I just peeped my credit card statement. Then you try to convince yourself that you only live once, and that you deserve to have some Panda. But also you throw the other side of the coin to that argument, and the truth is you do only live once, so maybe you should take care of yourself, prolong it as long as you can in the most healthy way you can. I'm just in search of the way to be healthy and be full. And I think the easiest way I've found is that I can get my hours and everything and my exercise and all that. If I can get all that done and not have to work like after 8 o'clock, which is my window, and then I can just kind of go to bed shortly after that. I think that when I first started fasting and like working out in the day, like I was like going to bed like a little bit after my kids were. It was like 7:30 or 8. But yeah, it's like last night and Sunday night. Sunday night, it's been kind of like 10 to 4, or last night was 11 to 4, and my body was kind of aching earlier today, as I have like 15 miles on my legs, and my back and my neck, and only sounds like 11 or 12 hours to show for, when it really should be at least 16, and yeah. And I feel guilty because my wife is a night owl, and like once the kids go to bed, that's kind of our time where we could like decompress and check in with each other. But I've also been like working so much late at night that I'm kind of working and then we're half checking in that way. And she'll work at night once or twice a week also, but I'm starting to notice that, like, if I had no support, sorry, my nose just itches. There's no boogers or anything coming. It's just that rawness of blowing your nose over and over again for a day and a half, or a day or two. Then it's just kind of itchy and raw. So I swear I'm not picking my nose. I just washed my hands after I took a mad ganger earlier. But yeah, it's what was I trying to say? Yeah, my nose is raw. I forget what I was even saying before that. Darn. Felt like I had a good point to make. Oh, I'm sure it was about money. Yeah, like, I'm so fortunate. Like, if we didn't have any support from our parents, my parents and my in-laws, like, it would be difficult to make ends meet and pay a mortgage. And it's like, you don't ever think about that until it's literally like, you know, you're deciding which thing to be paid like right away, and which is going to take like a few days to like put off or whatever. And then I started kind of wondering about how I can help 3 children go to school if they choose, and then get houses one day if they choose, and pay for 3 weddings one day if they choose. That's like all started to rack up in my brain, how expensive that all might be. And yeah, I just kind of grinned and laughed, because it's just so absurd to have to like, it's not absurd to want to do that, but just the sheer amount of money that all seemed to pile up to just seemed so unattainable right now, as I'm just working paycheck to paycheck. And you know, I also have to take care of the car, which is the main transport vehicle, every day, and make sure that's, you know, ripping and roaring to go. But yeah, like, it's difficult to own a house and then do the upkeep and keep your house clean. And my admiration to those people that I guess one have found a field that pays them handsomely enough that they can pay for a house in our town and area, and also take their families on vacation, and and keep it clean, and I don't know what, pay for gardeners and housekeepers and all that. It's a lot, man. And I've kind of put up this goal to myself that I want to try and like work enough that I could pay for my mortgage outright one month, and see how many hours that would entail. But I know it would have to be a lot. And at the end of the day, it would have to equate to me spending a lot more time at the office. And I'm not sure when that time is going to come. And I thought maybe my my run in the morning could be to the office, and then I could hustle back. But that equates to like trying to get there at like 3 in the morning, which means I leave my house at 2 in the morning, which seems just nutty, dude. and then going and then coming back. And to me, it also just seems like it all equates to like just sleeping way less, just kind of taking it at this point in my life, just taking the lack of sleep and just trying to like power through it. And then but it's the strugglesome part is when you're in this like deficit of sleep, your like good habits seem to fall to the wayside, and that's when a Dr. Pepper sounds so good and a double G, and you go out to eat when you know you can't really like afford it, or it would be detrimental to all the harping and worrying about paying for stuff that you've been worrying about in your brain over and over again. And I'm not very disciplined in that aspect. I mean, luckily I don't have any expensive tastes. Like, I don't care about having fancy cars or like fancy clothes or jewelry or anything. I'd say I'd spend my money on my kids and paying for them to do like sports and stuff, but mostly like eating out and then having, being just using my credit card and getting them whatever they need. Should we need like soccer gear or whatnot, cleats and shin guards and whatnot. And a lot of that is my wife paying for me and then just telling me what I owe her as my half of the payment for stuff like that. But I just don't know. And the other frustrating thing is like, I know we have plenty of food at the house, and it's not always the most nutritious stuff, but I've been trying over the last year to really like pack myself enough food to keep myself busy so that I can make it home and just eat at home, which is boring, but it's a way. And kind of bums me out when I hear people talk about going on trips like to Europe, because immediately I think about how expensive that must be, but also I don't really know how it is. Or those people could be like saving up their trip money and time just for 1, 2 week, 3 week period, a summer or a year or whatever. But I think I've always stopped myself from doing that just because I think I told myself that I couldn't afford it, when maybe I could if I would just save and have some sort of goal to do with it. But I think I've let volleyball dictate how I spend my time, and I've told myself I don't really have time to go on a big adventure like that, and just keep myself busy in town and whatnot. But maybe bump for a minute or two, but not for an eternity, and not even bump, just jealous, really. Probably just jealous that they have the guts to go on a trip like that and spend money like that, and maybe save money for something like that. I just ran into one of my friends the other day who's like still single. He doesn't have any like a wife and kids or anything, but he just went to Thailand like for a month, and that sounds so exciting, just to be out somewhere new and different, and also just away from anybody you could possibly know. And I think that's why I've enjoyed the few trips I've gone on with my wife and my kids, where we've been like off, not running into people we know, and it's been so much fun. And but I also don't want to spend money. I think at the end of the day, it's it must be a genetic flaw that I have a knee-jerk reaction to spending money. I think I know because I don't have any to really spend. My brother, he does. And he has no problem spending it, but I can understand that because I know how hard the dude works and how hard he has worked over the years. So all the time he's taking now and the money he's spending on fun stuff for his family, himself, his boys, and his wife, like, it's all warranted for sure. And I think I never really feel like I've been warranted for stuff like that. Like, I've not worked hard enough to warrant spending a ton of money on, I don't know, anything. And I know this all goes back to some sort of deep-seated issue I have with my own self-esteem. And that's completely my fault for not addressing that at all until now. And I don't think I even talked this way until I got married and met Melissa, and I think more once we got married. But I think just this being the longest relationship I've ever had, I guess maybe no one ever asked, or I think I just saw the writing on the wall, like, this wasn't gonna work out, so let me not like drop my guard all the way down with these gals. But I don't know. I think probably it had to do with her talking about her own issues and meeting with a therapist, and then also having three kids and me making some off-color comments about, like, feeling down or being depressed, or what's that, like, depression that women go in, postpartum depression. I think I actually told her one time, I think I said to her, why don't you just stop being depressed? Like, just don't be depressed. Just be happy. Just do, like, what a fucking idiot, dude. Can you believe those things were said to a woman that, like, had three children, like, surgically removed from her body? Yeah. And I shied away from joining the family business. It's a family business because my brother's the owner and my dad works as our business manager, and I am also I'm an employee, and so the three of us are all family, and it's been really good for our life. But I think I was hesitant to really help and join. I did when I was in college. I would just be plumber's assistant and grab stuff and do heavy lifting and do what I could. But I never had the mind for it, and I still don't. But I think I don't think I wanted to live in my brother's shadow, and I wanted to blaze my own trail. And even though what I was doing was not, I was just living in my mom's shadow and her career choice, and because I couldn't think of anything better to do, so I basically just kind of said yes, and I gave in, but, like, not give in, but I just think I was just too burnt. I think I was just too burnt back then, and I didn't really take the time to think about what I wanted to do with my life. I know for a moment I had talked about, like, being a DJ, like, on the radio station. I even remember telling one of my friends' dads that, and I felt like I even sounded convincing too, but that never materialized into anything. I never never pursued that at all. I think I definitely like music, and I know a lot of people do, but that is not a job that makes a ton of money. I'm sure it still isn't. But yeah, I don't think I think once I found volleyball, I think more than anything, I think I was excited that it was something that I was going to start doing, like, how do you say it? Like on my own, or like I wasn't like assisting my dad or my brother with this and then just taking their lead. I was like, falling under my coach before me, which helped me get into this, but having a team of my own, like, right away made me have to figure out myself a little bit more, because I had to step back and stop thinking about myself and thinking about others on a macro sense for the first time. And yeah, gosh, I don't even remember what that first year of practices even went like. I imagine we probably just did a whole bunch of playing and stuff, but excuse me, I know we won all 3 tournaments that year. We won every single match except the very last one at the end of the year against our rival, and we lost in 3, like, right at the end, and I was pretty crushed from that too. But yeah, I've got this now, but it's not producing. It's not helping pay for it does pay like 1 or 2 bills a year, like my car insurance or something else I can't remember. But I mean, I'm more excited to get out, to leave work and drive down here to increase our record to 2-8 to keep us on track for the playoffs than stay at work and make another few bucks, which is the wrong thinking. I should be thinking how I can make as much money as possible, I guess, all the time, in support of the other 4 people that I live with. But I think probably because I never had to struggle in that way, I've never held that as the highest regard, versus I've got so much wrapped up in, got so much of my ego and my self-worth wrapped up in volleyball success that seems to take precedence over a lot, unfortunately. And monetarily, there's not really getting much out of it. And it kind of bums me out to have to think of stopping, because it's such a time suck, and it's pretty selfish. But I just have such fond memories of being young before I got to school, because my brother played before I did, and just getting to see like 3 years of volleyball before I even joined high school. But I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I got to witness so much of it. And I got to be there the time we made it to the top of the mountain, and there's a banner that symbolizes that greatness in our gym, and I look at it every single day I'm in there. Without fail, I always look at it, and I can't help wanting one of those, another one of those. And for some reason, if I am the head coach that helps us do that, for me, there's some sort of satisfaction that's coming from that. I'm probably seeking some sort of approval from my dad, don't think he ever okay. Then you start crying, and then you feel like that you're making a face that that looks like weak and funny at the same time, and I don't have anything to be like sad about, but like I get so fucking frustrated that I feel like I haven't done anything for him to brag about to other people. And then you tell yourself that this comparison to other people of this situation is so not unimportant, but it's like it's so different than other people's things that are troublesome for them. But I don't know. I guess that's probably it. I don't really want to cry in front of other people about this, because I just don't think, like, I know they have their own stuff to cry and think about, and so I don't want to be a burden to other people. Or maybe the crying in front of somebody else is the, like, relieving of that burden, clarity maybe you want, but and I have no reason to think. I mean, I have no reason, because he's given me no reason to think these things. I just kind of make it up in my head, and I just feel so just minuscule. I compare myself to the rest of my family. And there's way bigger things to be upset about, to cry over. And I'm for sure a crier. I've cried my entire life. There's been years where I haven't, but I'll let them out. And honestly, like, I don't take compliments well. I usually start crying when someone compliments me too, because I don't know, maybe I find it hard to even believe. Yeah, I think even doing this is that's just something I found some sort of joy and comfort in when I stumbled upon that little purple app. It was probably just one more thing too. It's probably just one more thing to keep me occupied, so I didn't have to think about my own like life and struggles. And that's why I'm so attached to my phone. Is I'll make a joke about I don't want to be alone with my thoughts, but I'm starting to think it's not a joke. I think for so many years I've kept myself occupied and I'm drinking so much just to avoid the cold hard facts of what I've done. And I know it could, like, in perspective, some people would be okay with what I've accomplished, but I don't know. I think I've watched too many movies also, but it seems hard to feel like successful and gratified about something if you didn't really have to work very hard for it. And I think, like, financially, I had a lot given to me, and that's a shitty thing for me to say, because my parents worked so hard so they could give us those opportunities. But, like, I don't know how to feel about all that. But I do know that, like, I just can't. I'm not in a position to provide that type of, like, support right now. Like, I just don't understand how people work these engineering or jobs that make so much money. It seems so, like, I don't want to say boring because I've never done it. Maybe it's fun, but it seems so, like, grown up. It seems so, like, important. Like, I struggle to have conversations with people around my age about their work. But, like, I just, like, I don't even know what to say because I don't even understand what they do. I know I can wrap up what I do in a nice little tight package. Like, we're a plumbing business and we make invoices and take money and pay bills, and I support the plumbers so they can facilitate the repairs that you need. But, and I coach volleyball. Boom, there it is, 30 seconds. But I just don't understand how that's, like, fun, though, being, like, a software engineer. And my dad was one. It's just, you just have to, like, I guess be jazzed about fucking computer shit. And I think I'm so engrossed in, like, entertainment, but I don't find myself very entertaining, or I've never tried. So I've got so much time invested in this, but not time that could turn around and benefit me any financially. I think that kind of frustrates me too. Like, I just don't have I'm not playing with this like secret code that everybody else has, or everybody else is just as like quasi like semi like miserable part of the time, and then I don't really want to buy into that like fact that like 90% of your life is gonna suck. Like, that can't be. That just sounds like some hard ass shit to say. But I guess in Goggins' case, like, his dad was such a like monster, and maybe to that point 90% of his life didn't really suck, because he just had so much adversity from his family life and having developmental challenges. So I don't know. I think I'm getting on edge also about my kids growing up and having to fend for themselves, because I feel like I don't even know how to fend for myself. Like, I seem so reliant on my folks still, like for daycare and helping me pay my mortgage and giving me cars. Yeah. Now I really feel like a bitch for crying. And that's not anything I could have wrote or created to feel like it was entertaining. I never thought like, oh, you're gonna be 41, and you're gonna be driving to a league match, be the second league match. You guys are gonna be 1-8, but you are gonna be tied for first place in league. So it's by far such a crucial match to lock down. Don't worry about this, that, or this, but yeah, then you're gonna have some sort of crisis about your relationship with your dad, even though you see him all the time and he's your buddy and you guys have the same sense of humor, and you guys fucking bust each other's balls all the time. But I just can't help feeling like it's so vastly different, what my older brother does and what I do. Maybe the fact that he did have to work so hard in school because he had these hurdles to overcome, that was like the chip on his shoulder that he needed. My schooling, if you ask me, always came relatively easy. Not that it didn't involve like a lot of time, like hard work in the sense of it took time, but the act of like reading and comprehending, learning, all that, I never found extremely like very different. And for whatever reason, could be my mom, could be growing up with a teacher, I understood and I think my brother did too. He just had some extra stuff that was making it more difficult. I understand the structure of school. I understand what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to show up on time. You're supposed to do these tasks. If you don't know how to do these tasks, you ask the professor or the teacher what the answer is. And if you don't understand it, ask them to explain it. And you can keep going back and back and back until they help you or they don't. Or, you hope you get teachers that aren't fucking assholes, because some teachers are fucking assholes because they're people that chose to be teachers, but they're not real They're not educated. They're not people that should be teachers. They're just, what am I trying to say? They're just the people that chose to be teachers. I don't know if I chose the right one. No, I think I did. And the nice thing is that this guy's gunning it past me so he can get past me, but I'll just get behind you. I do know pretty much all these high schools now. I don't have to punch in my coordinates or use MapQuest or anything. What was that? Oh my god. What the? Did you guys hear that? It sounded like some gunshots. I hope that wasn't. I hope I didn't just drive by somebody that was like firing a gun. It sounded pretty loud. It sounded like a car like exploding over and over again. I think the other thing that's kind of like fucking with me a little bit is like I work with young people so much that, and I'm trying to give advice and be a role model, but you know, on the other hand, I'm still fucking figuring my life out. I didn't think at 41 I would be, not that I'm unsure, but so, I don't know, unestablished as an adult. I think that's what I mean. Because earlier this morning I met with one of my players about the season that's going to start in the spring. And we just kind of talked about the schedule, what he's doing, what he thought about the season coming up, and more of a time for me to try to have a little better connection with some of my players other than just in the season, during the season. And and last week I met with I think 12 of the returning guys, and I don't think I've ever done that before, and it felt good too. It felt good, but it's just one more thing. It was time consuming, and it took me an extra like 30-40 minutes out of my day, and then I got to work a little bit later. Then I couldn't help feeling like I should have not done that and just went straight to work. And then I'll go through a point in the day where I don't even like worry about money. I tell myself I'll just make more money. But it's life. It's an ever-changing ball of yarn, wax, excrement, I don't know. Plenty of things. And I think we might have just witnessed like a drive-by. I don't know. I know we need this win tonight, though. And this win will keep us on pace. And you know, the head coach she has stated this is going to be her last year. That's kind of feeling like it's going to be my last year for now. I also had a long talk with my wife the other night as I was trying to get some work done, but you know, it's feeling like I have to stop doing one or both of my seasons or stop coaching altogether, even though I don't want to, but like I just feel so ready for it to happen. Getting a banner and like going to the top of the mountain, even though there's like 9 different peaks of the mountain. I think I think I've just invested so much time into this, and I'm so into it. I'm so into the every little aspect of this. I just like to feel the gratification of putting a banner on the wall and knowing that I had something to do with it. And oftentimes I feel like I've been the only one that is keeping that dream or that goal alive. But also, like I've talked about, I don't think I've done enough on my end to enough like hard work and preparation and so that we can do that. And so this being like feeling like it's our last year, and then having this team, which is the most novice team we've ever had, like every day just seems so like precious and important. And when you don't get the same feeling back from the kids that are executing it, it's hard to deal with as you try and bake that part of your day into the rest of it, and make sure every part of your day is getting the same amount of attention and attention to detail and importance. But I'm sure this is that's probably just something about life that you have to come to terms with, that not everyone's going to want to win. Period. Flat out. Like, not everyone's going to want to win. Not everyone's going to want to be like out there in the bright lights all the time. And I mean, to me, I don't think that's okay. I'm not sure why you're okay with just doing something just for fun when you could do it just for fun and be competitive and try to win, you know? Like, it's so fun to compete, why not just go for it also? That's what I think.